My mother and father both played. My mother was not very good at all. My father was quite good, so my father and I would start going to bridge parties. That was auction bridge. I didn't know contract bridge yet. And we did very well, and I loved the game, but all we did was play. I never played duplicate because I never heard of it. When I was working for the Boston Herald, I had a copy boy working for me at one time, and he heard me talking about bridge one time, and he says, "Have you ever played duplicate?" I said, "No, what is duplicate?" And he told me, he says, "Why don't you come over to the Boston Y some night with me and we'll try the game." I went over to the game, had an absolutely wonderful time, and I've been hooked on the game ever since. I actually started writing about bridge while I still lived in New England. What happened was that we started a new paper called the New England Bridge Magazine, and that was fun. That was enjoyable. Then I went later on. I wasn't writing. I started writing a column for the Boston Herald about bridge, and I just kept writing and writing. But I worked for the Boston Herald actually for 25 years. And finally, the Herald ran into severe money problems and went under, so I was looking for a new job. And the Boston Globe offered me a job, a good one. The Boston Record offered me a job, and the ACBL offered me a job at much less pay. However, they told me that if you took this job, you would go to the World Championships no matter where they were. Well, what would you take? I took the World Championships, of course. So that's how I started being the editor of the ACBL Bulletin. One of the things that an editor of the ACBL Bulletin has to do is do the daily bulletins at the national championships. That's quite a job. I remember back when I first started, we had to type all the results. We used to work until 5 or 6 in the morning. Nowadays, they finish at about 1:30 because of the electronics. But we had to type all those things, and if we wanted to make a correction, we had to use whiteout. It was such a job, such a dull, dreary job. It was so wonderful when we started getting the electronic systems. Nowadays, it's quite easy, but I haven't done them for quite a while. In addition to that, remember I said that we started going to the World Championships. They wanted me to do the daily bulletins there, too. So I did all the daily bulletins for the World Championships from 1977 up to 2000. And that was a lot of fun. And my wife, Dorothy, started to help me with these daily bulletins, and as a result of that, the World Bridge Federation started paying her expenses. So all of a sudden, we were going to all the World Championships free. It was great. As far as tournament directing, I started for a very strange reason. My first wife was having a very difficult time. We had 3 very young children. The oldest one was 2½. And my wife was strained, trying to take care of them, and all of a sudden she had a complete mental breakdown. So she had to be taken care of for quite a long time in the hospital, and then she had to go to a psychologist for a long time, and my insurance didn't cover it. So I owed thousands and thousands of dollars. So the only way that I thought of that I could possibly make up this money was to go to work as a tournament director on weekends. And then I started, and I liked it, and I liked it, and finally, after 8 years, I finally managed to pay off the debt. But I enjoyed tournament directing so much that I kept right on going, and slowly but surely climbed up and finally became an associate national director, which was tremendous fun because you go to all the nationals all over the country. The 2 things that I am really happy about in my bridge life, I was named Honorary Member of the Year in 1998, and I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that was I believe I am the only person in this area that's ever been made to the Hall of Fame. So those are two great honors that I really feel good about. I'm a fair player. I've won quite a few regional championships, but I'm not good enough to play in the national championships. But I thoroughly enjoy the game. As a matter of fact, now that I'm no longer associated with the ACBL, I still play bridge about 3 times a week. One of the things that I really have enjoyed about my working, first of all, I worked for the Boston Herald, and I've always liked to write, and I've always liked to be an editor. That was great. Then my hobby was bridge, and what did I do? I went to work at a bridge organization, so there I am. I've always had a good time because I've always done something that I like. Not many people are that lucky.